Squarespace released an AI text content generator in June of 2023. With AI being such a buzzword these days, I wanted to record this episode to talk about how their content generator works and how it's drastically different than ChatGPT. Welcome to Think Inside the Square, a podcast full of quick tips and tricks that will help you create a Squarespace website that you're proud of. I'm your host, Becca Harpain, creator of InsideTheSquare.co, and in this episode, we're talking about Squarespace AI, what it can do, and why it's different than an open-source chatbot that we all have access to, like the ever-popular ChatGPT. For a transcript of this episode, along with the links to any resources mentioned, visit InsideTheSquare.co/podcast. The term Squarespace is a trademark of Squarespace Incorporated. This content is not affiliated with Squarespace Incorporated. When you add a text block to a Squarespace site, you'll see a little lightning bolt on the left-hand side of the text editor options. This icon opens up Squarespace's AI text generator. You'll see a few suggestions on the left, like paragraph, sales pitch, and blurb, and next to it is a blank space for you to type your prompt. Based on what you ask it for, it will generate a response. Fun fact, the Squarespace AI model is built on OpenAI LLC's open source model, which is the same model that's used for ChatGPT. But that, my friends, is where the technical similarities end. ChatGPT is a chat bot. It works best like a conversation, which can be a little tricky to get the hang of. For years, we've been asking a question to Google looking for a specific answer. What's the weather like this afternoon? Where can I buy a Hello Kitty lunchbox? Yoga near me, piglet in rain boots image. One query gets us the results, and we dig through those results until we find the right answer that we're looking for. Chatbots work best as a conversation. We start with the prompt, and then we refine it, and the more we refine it, the better it gets. Write 3 different Instagram post descriptions for an image of a pig in rain boots. ChatGPT responds, and we realize we can refine it further. Rewrite the second response to be more concise and friendly. Add 3 related hashtags and 2 emojis. Then another ask, what would be a good call to action for this post? It keeps going because it's a chat bot. Okay, the pig in rain boots is a silly example, but I hope you get the idea. This is a chat where we work with the AI language model to get the response that we want. Squarespace's AI is built on the same intelligence, but it's a content generator, not a chat bot. This means the pressure is on us. Crafting the perfect prompt is crucial to getting the right answer. Before we go any further, I have to mention this because it's so important. Never take content from an AI language model and use it as your own. Squarespace AI, ChatGPT, or any other source. Use the AI response for inspiration, a starting point, for help refining a concept, but never copy it exactly. That is plagiarism, and it's not guaranteed to be accurate. It could be the exact same answer it gives to someone else. That's another reason to not use it. So make sure your content on your website is uniquely yours and make sure that you write it, okay? Okay, good. Now let's talk about these prompts and why it's so important to get super specific when we're talking with Squarespace AI. The more detailed and specific you can be, the better response will be. Again, this is crucial for Squarespace AI because it's not a conversation. We're back to that question and answer setup we've had with Google for years. So how do you craft a good prompt for Squarespace AI? I have 5 key parts that I include in every prompt, and I think you should too. The 5 key parts are length, location, tone, topic, and target. The first one, the length, can be a really big deal. When I was first using Squarespace AI, I asked it to write an outline for a sales page, and I ended up with 5 full paragraphs. Not quite what I needed. So I specify the number of sentences I need, the number of words, and sometimes both. The second thing I include in every prompt is the location, where I'll be using this content. An about page is very different than a sales page, and a headline is very different than a disclaimer. Be specific about where the content is going to be placed on your website. The third piece of my prompt is the tone. I use emotional terms like friendly, enthusiastic, and inspirational. I also ask AI to keep the tone casual yet professional because that fits my brand here at Inside the Square. Fourth on the list is topic, what I actually want the bot to write about. I like to use relevant titles and descriptions that I already have, or even actual examples in my prompt to be as clear as possible about what I need it to write. The fifth and final part of every prompt I use with Squarespace AI is the target, specifically who this content is for, who will be reading this. I use the same terms that I use in other website copy to describe this person, this target audience, and sometimes I'll also include what I want them to do as a call to action. So here's an example of a generic prompt in the Squarespace AI response. The prompt I gave it was Piglet Boots product page headline. It gave me a 14-sentence answer with 295 words, including a promo at the bottom for a half-off sale I didn't even know I was having. It went way too far. It even listed details about colors and patterns, things that my fictional Piglet rain boot company doesn't even offer. Suffice to say, this response was not quite right for what I needed. So following my 5-part prompt method, the prompt I wrote was this. Please write a headline and subtitle sentence that are no longer than 9 words each. This headline and subtitle will be featured on the sales page of my website. I want the tone to be casual, friendly, and jovial. The headline and subtitle are for a sales page for rain boots that will fit piglets. These rain boots are perfect for piglet owners who live in the Pacific Northwest. This is the response it gave me with headline and subtitle labels. Headline: Rainproof Piggies, stylish boots for your cute muddy friends. Subtitle: Keep your Pacific Northwest piglets warm and dry. This is so much more on par with what I needed. I edited that for my fictional business, and this was the final result for my sales page. Rainproof Piggies, stylish boots to keep your Pacific Northwest piglets dry. With the right prompt and the right editing, you can use Squarespace AI to make some amazing content for your site. So let's repeat those 5 parts again. Length, location, tone, topic, and target. How long the response should be, where you're using it, what tone it should be written in, what's the actual topic, and who is the target that will be reading this. You can get really creative and specific here. Just remember that Squarespace AI is a content generator and not a chat bot like ChatGPT. After it generates a response for your initial prompt, you'll have some quick action buttons to simplify, shorten, or lengthen, but again, this is not a chat like ChatGPT. Now, if you're already hitting a wall and overwhelmed by this prompt concept, don't worry, I got you. Visit InsideTheSquare.co/prompt to grab the free prompt guide I made to go with this episode. It has a few more examples that you can modify for your own website. Again, that's InsideTheSquare.co/prompt. That wraps it up for this episode of Think Inside the Square, and thank you so much for tuning in. Knowing that Squarespace is making more updates to AI, I'm sure I'll be back with a new take on this topic soon, so be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you happen to be listening to this episode. Thanks again for listening, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now.